Hello, it's Trevor Cutmore. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I hope you've seen some of the other talks that I've done and interviews. It's all on really important subjects and giving you great information. Now this week I've been asked by some friends of mine if I could do a talk on networking. Now, I am qualified to do this, absolutely, because I was a PIN host, that's the Property Investors Network organisation. I was a PIN host for over 4 years. I did it in the Black Country up in Dudley, or as they say, Dudley, and also in Wimbledon. Then I was the host of the Clapham Property Meet with a friend of mine, and currently I'm co-hosting the Holborn Property Meet every 2 months in London. So I know a thing or two about networking and when you go to networking meetings. So really this talk is going to be how to maximize your time investment to get what you want from that network meeting. And there's sort of tips and tricks and really the common mistakes that I see people make. So I'm away at the minute. You can see I'm in a hotel room. I'm going to be doing some training the next few days. And I know that in this room of training, and actually I just met a lady in the lobby and I asked her if she had a business card and she said not. So she's here at a large training event and yet hasn't got herself prepared for seeing and meeting people with your business card. Really, really important. So what should you do when you go networking? Well, first of all, let's talk about where should you go to the network. Well, before you go, you should know what you want to get. Do you want money? Do you want to find money? Or do you want to find properties? Or do you want to find people to work with, whether builders, whether accountants, solicitors? So have a clear goal. Anything you do, you should have a clear goal, especially in property. So write it down. What do you want? A lot of people that I see, they go along because they think they should go along. Now, another important part is look who is the speaker and what is their experience and what subject are they speaking on. Is that something that fits into what you want to do? So let's supposing you have a speaker talking about deal sourcing, but you don't want to deal source, then why would you go along? But if you've got someone who's talking on options, something like this, and that's something that you really want to add to your arsenal of skills and knowledge and experience to maximize what you can do, then of course you should target and go and see that particular talk. Now, a lot of people that I meet, they live in one area and they go to another area where houses are cheaper, not because they're cheaper, but because you get better returns on yields or rental yields. So that's why they do it. So if that's what you're going to do, then you should be going to the network meetings in that area so you can start to understand the area. And when you go, you should be going in there with a clear goal. But wherever you go for your network meeting, remember, you need to set your goals. What do you want? Do you want money? Do you want property? Do you want to build relationships with tradesmen? Do you want to find joint venture partners? What is it you want to do? Have a clear goal before you go. So let's suppose you've chosen your area, you're going to go to whether a network meeting in that area or maybe network meetings in London to find people who have got cash, who haven't got the time to go to the north to find deals, and they're looking for someone like yourself to be their runner and maybe a joint venture partner. So let's suppose you go into this meeting and there could be 20 people, there could be 200 people in the room. But let's, for argument's sake, say there's 50 to 60 people in. Now, when I go, I have a clear target that I want to try and do 40% of the room on those numbers. All right? Now, if it's 200, I can't do 40%. But on 50, I could certainly speak to 20 people. I can. Now, the thing is, you need to be extremely disciplined, and this is the key. This is where people get it wrong. They go along, they're chatting to someone perhaps at the start, and there's people will say, well, I've got funds, I'm quite liquid, I've sold a company or something, I'm sitting on quite a bit of cash, and I'm looking to to get into property. I'm looking for people who have got a bit of time and who can find me stuff. I'll be interested to work with them, whether they just source for me or maybe as a joint venture partner. And you think, oh, I found the one, I found my golden egg. and then you stay with them all night. You don't leave their side. You buy them a drink, you sit there with them, you stay with them. You're like a leech. I promise you, they're never going to work with you, because all of a sudden you become something that they hate, and you're not showing professional behavior. You're actually becoming extremely unprofessional. And believe me, this happens on a regular occasion. I've had it happen with me. I've seen it happen in my meetings many, many times. So have that clear goal. You should be going along and speaking to each person for 2 minutes, no longer. And if you're not sure what 2 minutes is, stick it on a timer, chat to a friend or something, and about anything. It doesn't matter, football, cricket, a cooking program, whatever. It doesn't matter. But just try and think. Don't tell them, I'm going to click, set your timer, and try to think where 2 minutes comes up. You will be surprised. Right? It goes very quickly. So when you go, golden rules, do not start spouting off about your experience, your knowledge, the training you've done, or what you're going to do, or what deal you've just done. Don't. Do the opposite way. Okay, reverse engineering this is. Okay, and you ask them, hi, are you local? What do you do? Why are you here? Okay, from those questions, you're going to start to get some information. So if they're not in property, say, are you looking to invest in property? Yes. What strategy? What are you thinking to do? Are you looking to buy? Are you looking to do something more creative? In this, you are starting to qualify them. You are starting to say, is this somebody that I can work with? And you're going to make a judgment, all right? In all the questions that you are going to ask, which aren't going to be too many, you will make a judgment. Is this person someone I want to continue a relationship with after today? Is it somebody who has nothing to offer me and I need to be quite cold in the way that I'm going to choose? This is business. It's nothing about relationship. This is purely business. Or is this a really hot lead that I need to make sure that I contact them the next day? But whichever it is, you need to switch off after 2 minutes. You exchange business cards. You should have a system. The ones which maybe you're going to contact, maybe there's something a bit loose, goes in one pocket. The one that you know that there's no mileage in it at all, goes in another pocket, so you can virtually disown them, or they can go into your CRM system if that's what you have, but you're not really going to push forward. And the ones that you have, which you're going to call the next day, go into your phone. And that is a very powerful thing. So you're going to phone them the next day, you're going to make a arrangement for a coffee, and you're going to sit down and meet them. So this is a really important way to use networking to your advantage. Please have clear business cards, okay? Very, very important. If you don't have clear business cards, people are just going to wonder what you are. Property investor, what does that mean? So be careful of the titles that you choose. Just have nice and professional, not loads of stuff on your card. We buy houses if you're in debt and all this stuff. Simple is better, trust me. Okay. Now the other thing is that when they ask you what you do, then just be nice and casual about it. You do not have to give them all of your experience. So what do? I invest in properties, I refurb them and refinance them. I do conversions of houses and I build houses. Now what I do is I work with other people who are looking to invest because they haven't got experience. They come in, I joint venture with them, I use their money and I make a nice profit for them. Now if you know somebody who might be interested in that, please put me in contact with me. Use that little phrase. And you'll be surprised, because many people would turn around and say, I've got £100,000, I'll be interested. And you'll be shocked. Look, this was never going to be a long one. I wanted to just give you something, as my friends had asked me if I would do a little bit on networking, all right? But be clear, it's the goal setting which is most important. Do not go along and speak to 2 or 3 people and waste your night. Honestly, it's a waste. Those relationships you build outside of the networking meeting, they want to go around the room, you must be going around the room. And then the ones which you think go into your telephone, you're going to phone the next day, and you're going to set up a lunch, a coffee, whatever. And that's where you do the business, not at the network meeting. Listen, I hope you've enjoyed that. Please share, comment, subscribe. And if you want a specific subject you'd like me to talk about, drop it down there on a message. I'd really enjoy to do something that you would like, just as these friends have contacted me and asked me to do something on networking, which is a bit, strange. I should have done it some time ago, because I am a network host and have a lot of experience through it. So I hope you've liked it. I wish you all the best in your property journey, and God bless you. Bye-bye.